everyone, namaste and salam alaikum. Welcome to my session, people. Hi, this is Mariya Khan, your master teacher of biology here at Vedantu. And today I have come up with an amazing topic from your ICSE syllabus, and it's a one-shot session on the entire chapter Absorption by Roots. Yes, so it's gonna be interesting and fun. If you're super excited for today's session, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and post me a yo guys. Chalo. Without wasting any further time, let's get started. So, bachcho, when the chapter is all about absorption and that too by roots. So, let's talk about the functions of a root. So, whenever we talk about roots, roots hold the soil particles, or I can say, roots help the plant to anchor it in the ground, right? So, it helps the plant to anchor itself in the ground. Okay, so when we try to uproot a plant, we see that the soil particles also come up or come out along with the roots, है ना? So roots help to anchor the plant into the soil. Then the second one, it helps to take up water and minerals. Of course, the chapter is all about absorption by roots. So yes, water present in the soil, minerals present in the soil. These minerals get dissolved in water, and when plant absorbs water, of course water is so taken in, but also minerals are also taken up. Okay, yep, so that's the second point. And then third one, to bring water and minerals up to the xylem. See, we know that xylem is the conducting tissue which helps to transport water from the soil to the aerial parts of the plant. But then it will help to transport the plant from the base of the stem to the aerial parts. The water has to be brought in from the soil at least to the base of the stem, and that is being done exactly by the roots to bring water and minerals up to the stem. Okay, so that it reaches xylem, and then xylem further continues to transport them in the upward direction. Then to bring prepared food from leaves to the roots. But you see, the food is being prepared. Okay, but when the food is being pushed into the phloem cell, a hypertonic condition is formed, and then as there is too much of food, water from the xylem enters into that phloem cell. Okay, so yes, bachcho, the food is not just transported all alone. Food and water, they both are being transported. Okay, so yes, water also helps in transportation of food. And then to store food. Okay, so when we talk about roots, at times the roots are being modified to store food. Now, any examples? So, bachcho, sweet potatoes, we all have seen sweet potatoes. It has this root like structures, दाढ़ी दिख के आती है ना? So yeah, it of course stores food. Okay, so yes, roots help to anchor the plant into the soil. It helps in taking up water and minerals and making it available right till the base of the stem, so that the xylem can push it upward. And then again, roots help to bring the prepared food from the leaves, okay, to the roots. Basically, water helps in bringing it down. Okay, and then fourthly, to store food. Yep, that's the function of root. And then, bachcho, let's talk about ki when we say absorption by roots, why do plants need water? Why do they need minerals? Okay, so the very first thing, plants perform photosynthesis, they manufacture their own food, and water is an essential raw material. Without water, food cannot be manufactured, glucose cannot be synthesized. So that's the first reason ki why plants require water. Second, transpiration, especially during summers when the plant gets heated up a lot. To lose the heat, plant loses water, and that loss of water is in the form of transpiration. So it is the loss of water, in the form of water vapor, from the aerial parts of the plants, like leaves through stomata is called transpiration. So of course, transpiration not only takes place by stomata, but also through cuticle and through lenticels. But yes, transpiration definitely helps in the loss of water. Okay, it helps the plant to remain cool. Greater the rate of transpiration, more is the rate of absorption. If more and more water is lost, more and more water is also even absorbed. So yes, for producing a suction force that pulls the water from the soil and helps to reach right till the tip of the tall plants. Okay, yes, so that's what we call it as transpiration, and that's the second thing for which water is required. Thirdly, transportation. I told you whether it is the transportation of food or it is the transportation of minerals. Both are being transported to various parts of the plant, of course, with the help of water. Okay, so yes, water is a very essential medium for transportation. And fourthly, mechanical stiffness. Bachcho, when water enters inside the cell, it is stored inside the vacuole, which is the largest cell organelle. Okay, it occupies 70 to 90% of the cell's volume. So when water enters inside the vacuole, the swollen cell exerts a pressure on the cell wall, and this make the plant leaves very stiff, or the plant parts basically very stiff. And yes, so when the water is taken in, okay, the plant parts become stiff, what we call it as turgid. And when too much of water is lost, okay, when the water is lost, the leaves become flaccid. Okay, turgid, flaccid. Yeah. So mechanical stiffness is definitely imparted by the water. Now, when I say that the roots of the plant, they absorb water, how do they do it so effortlessly? Point number one. If we see a root, it has so many tiny, minute, hundreds and thousands of root hair. Root hair increases surface area for absorption. Greater the surface area, more will be the rate of absorption. So yes, the surface area is increased by root hairs. Second, the root cells, okay, they have large vacuole, and this vacuole is filled with cell sap. What is a cell sap? Cell sap is nothing but the mixture of water and minerals. Okay, so water and minerals are collectively referred as cell sap, which is stored inside the vacuole. Now, bachcho, when the large vacuole is filled with cell sap and it has a lot of minerals, okay, it has a lot of minerals, of course, means minerals are more and water is high. And if the water is more in the soil, the water is going to enter inside by a process called osmosis, right? So yes, water will enter inside, but in order to make the easy entry of water inside the cell wall, which is freely permeable, it should be thin enough. Okay, so cell wall is freely permeable, which is thin enough. It allows the water to enter inside, and then this water is further stored inside the cell's vacuole. Okay, so these are the three characteristics of roots which actually help it to absorb more and more water. Okay, now phenomena which helps in absorption of water. One thing to be discussed about the physical characteristics of the root and root hairs associated with it. But let's talk about the other processes which actually help the plant to uptake water and minerals. So the first one is imbibition. Now what is imbibition? Imbibition is surface attraction of water molecules by a solid surface, maybe cellulose, like wooden doors. They swell up during monsoon by absorbing moisture that is present in the air. So, bacha, the surface molecules, they attract the water molecules, and the moisture is absorbed by the surface. It doesn't penetrate inside, but it moves along the surface. And this surface attraction is what we call it as imbibition. Okay, so when the seeds are soaked into water, okay, so the seed coat, it takes up the water, it ruptures, and that rupturing of the seed coat, that is again because of imbibition. Okay, so it is the uptake of water, okay, whether it's by living or a dead plant cell. Okay, कोई भी हो सकता है, by means of surface attraction. That's what we call it as imbibition. Now the second one is diffusion. We have already studied this many a times. When substances, when molecules move, solid, liquid or gaseous, from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration, that's what we call it as diffusion, right? Yep. And the diffusion occurs when the two different concentrations are in direct contact. Like if I light an incense stick over here, slowly within 15-20 minutes, the entire room will be filled with the fragrance of that incense stick, right? So that's called as diffusion. Okay, then osmosis. Osmosis is also again the movement of particles. Basically, solvent molecules, especially water, okay, from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. There should be a presence of semi-permeable membrane. Okay, that is when things move from high to low. Now, if the water is entering inside the cell, it's called as endosmosis. If water is leaving the cell, it's called as exosmosis. If water enters into the cell will accommodate more water and the cell will become stiff, hard, and that is what we call it as turgid. Okay, when the water leaves the cell, okay, the cellular contents shrink. I'm not saying the cell shrinks in plants, the cellular content shrinks, and that makes the plant cell flaccid. So turgid, turgidity, flaccid, flaccidity. Okay, now one more important phenomena is active transport. Kids, I told you that if this is the root cell, okay, and this is the vacuole, it is rich in cell sap, and cell sap is actually loaded with minerals. Okay, so plant is already having minerals in greater quantities as compared to the surrounding soil. Okay, but M for minerals, M for money. As we always want money, likewise the plants always need minerals. So plants have to pull up the minerals from the soil into the plant. Means things need to be moved from a region of low concentration to a region of high concentration. And when things have to be moved against the concentration gradient, okay, not from high to low, but actually from low to high, the plant needs to spend energy, and this energy must be spent in the form of ATP. So when plant cells or whenever a living organism spends energy in the form of ATP to move the substances from a lower concentration to higher concentration, it's called as active transport. So minerals are pumped in by a plant by means of active transport. Okay, got it? Great. Then guys, when we talk about osmosis, I already told it's the movement of water molecules. It's the movement of water molecules from region of high concentration to low concentration through semi-permeable membrane. I also mentioned you that if water enters inside, it's called as endosmosis. It will make the cell turgid, that is the cell swells up. And if the water leaves the cell, it's called as exosmosis. Endo inside, exo outside. Endosmosis and exosmosis. And exosmosis will cause the shrinkage of the cellular content, what we call it as flaccid. Right? Now, osmosis depends upon the tonicity of a solution. What is tonicity? Tonicity refers to the difference in solute concentration. See, difference in solute concentration. Okay, difference in solute concentration between the cell and the surrounding medium. Okay, so bachcho, if water is more outside and less inside the cell, water will move from outside to inside. If water is more inside the cell and less outside, the cell will lose water. Okay, so that is what we call it as tonicity. So depending upon the concentration of solutes, there are three different type of solutions. Isotonic solution, iso is for same, where the solute concentration is exactly the same in the cell and the surrounding medium. So when everything is same, like I have cello gripper, you have cello gripper, we both have cello gripper, we are not going to exchange our pens, right? Even if we exchange, that's not going to create any difference. So same way, if the solute concentration is same in the cell and the surroundings, the amount of or the volume of water that leaves the cell will be equivalent to the water that enters into the cell. So therefore, the net movement of water will be 0, and therefore the cell remains as it is, Okay. Then hypo means low, where the solute concentration of the solution is low as compared to the cell. Okay, so bachcho, when the solute concentration is low, of course the water concentration will be on the higher side. So hypo sounds like a hippo. when a cell is placed in a hypotonic solution, it will grab more and more water. Water will automatically enter inside the cell, and because of which the cell swells up. Okay, by accumulation of more and more water, the cell might even burst when it is placed in hypotonic solution. But this applies only to the animal cell. When we talk about plant cells will swell a bit, but they will not lose their shape. They will not burst. Why? Because they have a cell wall which prevents the cell from bursting. Okay, so plant cells, though they become turgid, but they will never burst, they will never lose their shape. Okay, so that's about hypotonic. Hypertonic, hyper means high, so here there is high concentration of solute in the solution, therefore of course water will be less, so there will be less water in the solution and more in the cell. So when the cell is actually having more water, it will lose the water, and as it loses, animal cell of course shrinks. When we talk about plant cells don't shrink. The cell membrane detaches itself from the cell wall. It moves closer to the nucleus, that is the cytoplasm shrinks or the cytoplasmic content shrink. Okay, and this is what we call it as plasmolysis. Okay, plasmolysis occurs in a plant cell. Okay, it becomes flaccid. Got it? Yeah. So, bachcho, now that we discussed that how water enters into a cell, let's talk about the movement of water. If the water moves in the upward direction, if the water column moves in the upward direction, it's called as ascent of sap. Ascent, ascending, in an ascending order, it means it's moving from low to high. So when the water moves from the roots to the aerial parts of the plants, it's called ascent of sap. And sap, you already know, it's water plus minerals, right? So let us try to have a look at the 5 factors, 5 forces responsible for the ascent of sap. One is of course osmosis. But I told you that if there is a cell vacuole and that vacuole is having a lot of minerals and less water, so water is high in the soil but low in the cell. So water will move from high to low through a semi-permeable membrane, of course this plasma membrane, and this will occur by osmosis. So water enters into the root hairs and reaches the root cell by a process called osmosis. That's the first force. Okay. Second, root pressure. Now let's assume that because of osmosis, water managed to reach till the epidermis. Now the epidermal cells will become turgid. All the epidermal cells, they will become turgid, MO2. So all these MO2 cells, all these turgid cells, they will exert a pressure onto the neighboring cells. So which are the neighboring cells? So epidermal cells ke neighbors are cortex cells. So the pressure exerted by the root cells, the pressure exerted by the root cells onto the neighboring cells is what we call it as root pressure. So the pressure and the concentration is higher in the epidermal cells as compared to the cortex cells, and due to the difference in concentration and pressure, water and minerals, they further move into the cortex cells. Cortex cells become turgid. So first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer. So likewise, this root pressure pushes the water and minerals from the epidermal cells to the cortex cells, from the cortex cells to the endodermis, from the endodermis right to the xylem. Okay, so root pressure helps to push water to the stem. Okay, so see, root hairs, osmosis, root cells to xylem, root pressure. Now bachcho, the next force is capillary action. What is capillary action? It is the movement of fluids where the fluids trickle down into small narrow cavities, okay, due to intermolecular forces. Yep. So even water moves, okay, and it helps in rising up of water at the base of the stem, okay, at the base of the xylem. So yeah, this is the xylem, and capillary action actually helps in rising up a water column. But besides this, there are two major forces: adhesion, cohesion. Okay, so bacho, what is the adhesion and cohesion? Now let's assume I have my son, Azan. Okay, suppose if I get blessed with a daughter, okay, so they both will play together. Same, मेरे बच्चे playing together. Same. Okay, same. If they are the same, it's called cohesion. Okay, so if one water molecule is there, there is another water molecule. So this water molecule will pull the other water molecule कि हम साथ साथ will stay together. We are alike, and we will move further together. So that's what we call it as cohesion. Okay, but suppose it's my son over here, okay, and if it's uh, किसी और का बच्चा, okay, let's assume हर्षर son, अरे हाँ, हर्षर son, okay, playing together. So two different molecules, like if the cell wall is attracting the water molecule, two different stuffs, है ना? So that's what we call it as adhesion. Okay, similar molecules attracting each other, cohesion. Different molecules attracting each other, adhesion. So adhesion and cohesion makes column of water molecules to be pulled upwards, ascent of cell. And then I already told transpiration. So when water molecules are lost from the aerial parts of the plant, whether it is leaves or cuticle or even lenticels, more and more water is absorbed by the root hairs. So transpiration leads to the formation of transpiration pull. It's the suction pull which pulls the water from different parts of the plant, and it further forces the root hairs to absorb more and more water. Okay, yeah. So let us see the overview of ascent of sap. I told you 5 forces. Osmosis, which helps to pull water from the root hairs, and then I spoke about root pressure, which will further pull the water from various layers of the root and reach till the xylem. Then to pull the water up in the xylem, capillary action helps. Besides that, similar molecules, water molecules get attracted to other water molecules, cohesion. Water molecules get attracted to the cell wall, adhesion, and thus it helps to pull the water up. And finally, it's the transpiration which leads to transpiration pull. So that's the overview of ascent of sap. Bachcho, I hope you are understanding and enjoying. If yes, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to post me you. Okay. So now let's talk about water and minerals uptake by roots. Okay. So kids, I told you कि water, of course, it will enter by osmosis. It will enter through root hair, and it will move from high concentration to low concentration. High concentration was there in the soil, and low concentration was there in the cell, and it enters by osmosis. That's pretty clear. What about minerals? Minerals are high in the cells and low in the soil. But still plant is greedy. Plant requires more and more minerals. So this time plant will afford to spend ATP. Okay. So always remember minerals are pumped up from a region of low concentration to a region of high concentration by spending ATP, and that's the reason why it's called as active transport. Okay, so when it comes to minerals, it has to be active transport. Okay, yep. And last but not the least, guys, I said greater the rate of transpiration, more is the rate of absorption. But let's assume that it's not a bright sunny day, rather it's a cloudy day. So rate of transpiration falls. But already the plant has absorbed a lot of water. So when the rate of absorption exceeds the rate of transpiration, that time plant has to lose too much of water. And this water, okay, this water is lost in the form of water droplets. See, not in the form of water vapor, but in the form of water droplets from small pores which are present at the edge of the leaves, rather at the edge of the veins of the leaves, okay, which tiny droplets trickle down through these openings, and these minute openings are called as hydrothores. Okay, so it is the loss of water in the form of water droplets through minute openings present at the leaf margin, which are called as hydrothores, especially at night time or maybe during early morning hours. And this is what we call it as guttation. So this occurs in small herbaceous plants. Okay, I'm not talking about woody plants, but yes, primarily herbaceous plants में guttation is a common phenomenon. Yeah. So bachcho, I hope you enjoyed the session, and if you found the session to be useful, think about enrolling with us here at Vedantu. Why? There are so many benefits when you enroll with us at Vedantu. Point number one, unlimited live classes for maths, science, physics, chem, bio. Every subject is given fair attention. Okay, you get to learn from the best teachers, star teachers, I can say, best teachers from the country. They are providing you knowledge related to your subjects, related to your curriculum. Every session of ours has some amazing quizzes. Okay, every session of ours has some amazing quizzes. And now your term one, even the timetable is out. It's gonna be purely MCQ based, and MCQs are also like simple. They haven't like framed any regulations around the kind of MCQs. It's pretty easy. And I tell you, every session of ours, every live session of ours on Vedantu's platform is having at least 8 to 10 MCQs. So it's going to help you prepare amazingly well for your term 1 exams. Okay. Then what about your doubts? First of all, teachers teach you in such an amazing manner that you don't come across any doubt. If at all you come, we always have a classy class teacher who resolves your queries on the go over the chat panel. When we talk about practice, practice makes a man perfect, and my students too. So to ensure that you are practicing well, we give you assignments, we give you session-based assignments, chapter-based assignments. We conduct several tests: baseline test, midline test, endline test, monthly test, chapter-based test, mid-yearly test, so many tests. And you finally become super awesome when it comes to your final performance, that is your board examination. Okay? Study materials, assignments, just a single click away. Just after this session, if you see the description box, you can download the PDF of this session. In the same manner, after the sessions get over on our platform, just a single click away, you can download the notes of the entire session. What else do you need? You know? And let me tell you guys, the doubt solving at Vedantu is 100%. Okay, almost 100%. So yeah, enjoy the goodness. And then what else do you need, guys? What else do you need? You get all the benefits under one roof. But yes, I do have something amazing to share. Suppose if I say that you enroll with us for an entire academic year, and if you don't see any improvement, we return back your entire course fee. How about it? Unbelievable, right? But trust me, guys, if you enroll with us, if you attend 75% of the sessions, if you complete 75% of the assigned test, you will definitely see an improvement. If you don't see an improvement, we return back your entire course fee. That's VIP, Vedantu's improvement promise. Grab the deal now, guys. ऐसा मौका फिर कभी नहीं मिलेगा. Grab the deal now. How do you grab the deal? So बच्चों, the link is already given in the description box. Okay, it's also been pinned in the comment section. and ensure to apply my coupon code, that is MAC Pro. Actually, let me take you to the site, okay, and show you something. So give me a second. To Alt tab, let me like go, yeah. So here, see, this is my dashboard. Even you will get to see your dashboard. You go to the past sessions, you get to see all the sessions, and when you click on get notes, you can simply download the session notes. It's just a single click away, okay. See, the notes are being prepared, 52, 53, OMG, it's taking time. Yep, probably it's monsoon and my net speed. So yeah, so you can actually download the session notes, okay. All the slides, just a single click away. See, every session begins with a recap. So of course, every session is fun, amazing, okay. And then secondly, you can even watch the replay. So yeah, here I go on to the replay. So even you can watch the replays, and let me show you something amazing, okay. So see, you can jump onto direct minutes. Okay, what did I teach at 9 minutes, when did I start my first quiz, like you can actually do so. And then see, okay, like if I show you how many quizzes were asked, you can see over here, okay. If I show you, okay, how many questions were asked, okay, quizzes, you can get to see that. And then last but not the least, okay, uh, you see, total doubts asked 40, right. So yeah, they have been solved, and most of the doubts, like which are either resolved or unresolved, they're usually like uh, sorry, most of the doubts which are not resolved, they are usually like, ma'am, bye, hi, how are you, I am loving your sessions, okay. This kind of general doubts are there which are usually unresolved, okay. And I hope you are loving the platform. If yes, it's high time that you think about enrolling with us. So this is one of my videos on ICSE.
Good
Okay,
grammar and
so just scroll down and go to the description box, okay. And you will get to see various links, okay. So you can just click on any course that you want, okay. Or or like what I do is generally I go to the pinned comment section. So here I see the pinned comment, I click on it, okay. And see, here it's showing me Vedantu NTSC crash course, okay. So you can like enroll for Vedantu NTSC crash course as well if you want. And NTSC crash course, the course price is 10,000. Currently 50% off, it is for 5,000. And use my coupon code, that is MacPro, and get 10% off. So click on buy now, okay. And see, you have saved a lot of money. So 4,500 for NTSC, guys. NTSC crash course also comes with amazing benefits, like 60 plus hours of live teaching, and level 1 level 2 guidance, uh, descriptions of the previous papers, proper solved answer keys, okay. And unlimited doubt solving in the class. And if you need doubt solving outside the class with a doubt solving app, you can like go for our Pro Classic one, okay. And that is available for 4,500, of course. And guys, I hope you're enjoying it, loving it. So grab the deal now. And what else should I say, bacho, what else should I say? uh, I guess all said and done, okay. Grab the deal now, use my coupon code, that is MacPro. And thank you so much for being a part of my session. Let's meet in more such amazing sessions. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Milo Bapis, and keep watching Vedantu. And reach out to me through the comment section, and you can write down to me on my mail address. So that's it. Bye bye, people. Love you all. God bless you. Tada!